Hey, it's your girl Nay from Around the Way, and thank you for joining Spiritually Soft Podcast. I welcome you to the most safest place. This episode is The Choice is Yours. With every single episode, I want to do a mental check. Mental health is very important to me, and it's something that we're going to be touching on in every single episode. Mentally today, what are you on the scale? 1 to 10. 1 being, whoo, child. 10 being like, you know what? I'm doing pretty darn good. Right now, I would say I'm at a solid 9.5. I'm doing pretty good today. Mentally, I'm clear, I'm focused, I'm determined, and we got some exciting things that we're going to get into. So, my writing progress. Right now, I am currently finishing up Love Book Part 1. This is a poetry book that is about to come out very, very soon. It's really indulging into like my journey, my love life, all the juicy details, and definitely in ways that you probably would not imagine. But it's going to be very transformative and definitely relatable for all of you guys. Right now, I'm currently picking out the covers and getting all the designs and all that cool stuff. And anyone that's a writer knows that this is the fun part. You got all the writing and everything out of the way, and now you're ready to design it and make it cute and very attractive and appealing. So the thing that I really wanted to dive into today is deciding when you are wanting to change for the better. There comes a point in your life where you're like, you know what? I want to do better. I want to be better. It should. But I say all that to say that, the first step is really awareness. A lot of times we really don't know what we're doing. And even just to get like a little bit vulnerable, there's a lot of things that my hubby tells me that I do. And I'm like, what? There's no way. But, some of the things that we do and how we think that we're doing things is not the way that it gets perceived. And that could cause a lot of misunderstandings. That could cause a lot of issues within your life. And sometimes you'll kind of see yourself keep going through like an endless cycle. Like, why do I keep going through this? Why do I keep picking this type of partner? Or why do I keep running into this obstacle? And a lot of times we don't stop and reflect. Like, it's sometimes really hard for us to be aware because majority of us are kind of self-absorbed. Awareness is really like the first step of deciding like, there's a problem and I'm ready to solve it. I know for myself, like I had so many challenges in my life, and there was things like, for example, like even just me drinking, like I was always like partying out and about, like I'm outside. And, I didn't see that there was anything wrong with that. I just continued to indulge in it because, my surroundings, my environment, people made me feel like it was okay, and not understanding that I was like internally killing myself, and luckily I had people and a support system and really like my hubby that helped me out a lot with talking to me and saying like, hey, like this is something that like you have to work on, and not even understanding that like this was like generations of continuously like drinking. Drinking has caused a lot of like my relationships to not flourish the way that they were supposed to. And that could be friendships, romantic, even just relationships with my family members and so forth. It was a lot of things that I was acting out of the norm because I was indulging so much into alcohol. And I didn't think that it was a problem. I'm like, this is me. Like, this is a part of my personality. Girl, it's not. It, in fact, was not a part of my personality. Like, everybody have different reasons as to why they drink or whatever bad habit that they have. But, I know for me, like, I was running from a lot in my life. It was a lot of pain that I was harboring on the inside. And it was a lot of suppression. It was a lot of guilt. Like, I was in a space where I didn't enjoy life, and like me being high off of marijuana or constantly drinking, like it felt like it was like, I'm me again. And in reality, you weren't. Because not only were you killing your insides, you're waking up the next day hungover. And Lord knows, don't let you make some decisions that you're going to regret. That just adds insult to injury. And, it just really became a space for me where it was like, this is a problem. Like, I don't want to continue to live my life this way. And that is that pivotal point right there, is when you understand that this is an issue and that I don't want to do this. What is your next step? What do you do at this point? Do you want to continue down the same cycle, or are you wanting to change for the better? And I know for me, it was like, I want to change for the better. And what did that look like? What did that require? Like, it was such a big change for me. That required me losing a lot in my life, me not hanging around with the people that I was hanging around with, not me having, the same hobbies that I did. It was like I completely like scrapped everything that like remotely even seemed like it aligned with what my purpose was no longer. And at that point, after I started to make the choice, I had to execute. That's the part that I've noticed that we get stuck at so much, is now we've made the decision that we're going to change. Now we see what's required from us and we're like, this is too much. I'm not doing it. I'd rather take the easier route. Like, we always typically do that. And I know for me, like, I was like, oh, I want to take the easier route. Like, I want to do like this. Like, oh, well, you know what? If I only just drink when we go out to dinner or when I get my nails done, it's not that bad. Like, I was trying to find different little ways to be like, this behavior is still okay. And it was apparent that it wasn't, and that this behavior wasn't going to be able to flourish in the life that I really wanted for myself. And I didn't back down from the challenge. Like, it was something that it was hard for me at first. And I feel like it was really hard because I lost a lot of the social connections. And that really kind of hurt me more than actually drinking itself. Drinking itself wasn't something that it was like, oh, I'm like clinging to the bottle and I really still need this. It was like, wait, the realization of, these aren't really my friends. These aren't people who actually really want to be around me. These are people that only want to be around me if we're doing X, Y, and Z. And that realization was so hurtful for me. And I just remember so many nights I'm sitting there crying to my hubby, like, oh my goodness, like da-da-da, this and that. And it was like, but it was needed. It was so needed. I was just talking to someone on one of my social media platforms on TikTok, and it was like, old keys do not open new doors. Like, a lot of the things that we want in life, or that we say that we're reaching for, or that we see on social media, or that other people are able to obtain, that comes with a high level of discipline that most people are not ready to fulfill. It comes with a lot of sacrifices that people are not ready to make. And it comes with a lot of like stripping of the ego. Like, the old me had to die. The old mindset, the old emotions, how I used to react to everything, how I would respond, like, all of that had to completely diminish for me to be able to be the woman that I am, and really just to show my growth, and that's really something that I want to definitely go more into, especially with, us starting this journey on this podcast. You're going to hear a lot about my story. I'm going to get very vulnerable with you guys, and just to continue to keep this safe space for not only myself, but for you guys. Like, I want you guys to share your stories, share your struggles. Like, you can do it on comments. You can personally message me. Like, I'm big on wanting everyone to grow and to be successful and to be happy and healthy. And, one of the biggest things in life is deciding I want to do better and executing it. Don't stop at the I want to do better, but maybe tomorrow. I want to do better, but maybe that's my New Year's resolution. You don't need a New Year's resolution to be better. You don't need a New Year's resolution to start over. Do you know every single day we get an opportunity when we wake up to do better? The thing that my hubby would always say is like, you're only as good as your last play. Like, yes, your last play was great, but that was your last play. What are you doing now? Yes, you were able to see, I have a problem, okay? I have a lot of things that I got to do to make sure that I can be able to fulfill this new choice, this new life that I want. Now I'm going to execute it. Like, the now, what are you doing now? It doesn't matter what you did before. It's kind of like the whole, like, allow me to reintroduce myself. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can rebrand 1,000 times. Who cares? You know what I mean? Like, this is your life. This is for you, and once you decide to make that change and say like, hey, like, I don't want to live this life anymore. I don't want to keep repeating the same cycles. I don't want to continue to adhere to the same generational curses. I don't want to continue to, move a certain way and be around certain people. That requires a lot from you. But you can do it. You can remake and make and recreate and destroy and pick back up and rebuild 1,000,001 times. Granted, that's a lot, okay? But that's life, though. There's no handbook with this. There's no like, hey, this is exactly how you should do it. No. And a lot of us are honestly like trying to unlearn so many things from our childhood that don't even make sense in the world today. A lot of us are facing a lot of things within our lives that is essentially trying to hold us back. And you have to be determined and focused enough to say, despite all the obstacles, despite everything in front of me, despite every excuse that I choose to make, I want to do and be better. I used to go to a high school called William Penn, and the principal at the time, he would say at the end of it, he's like, make it a good day or not, the choice is yours. And I know we used to always laugh at Mr. White. We used to be like, oh my God, like, why, da, 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 da. We're kids, you know how that goes. But it was so powerful. It missed a lot of our heads. The choice is yours. What you speak on your life, what you say to yourself, what you indulge in, what you respond and react to, that's going to be you. If you want to choose to continue to be negative, you're going to continue to be negative. If you want to choose to be positive or have a great day despite all the things that's going on, that's a choice. I wake up every day with a choice of, I'm going to be happy. Whatever happens, I'm going to be happy. My windshield cracked. Guess what? I got to get it fixed. That was my mistake. I'm still going to be happy. I'm still going to move forward. I don't strive to, indulge into creating that negative energy and sitting in that. Because I used to sit in that. I used to sit in that so bad. And I was like, honestly, hurting myself even more. And when you look back and you think, you're like, why? Why did I do that? But, that's something that I really wanted to kind of like touch on a little bit with you guys. And I definitely want to open it up to talk to you guys more about like, some of the struggles that you've overcome and, really just touching base. Like, I'm big on us supporting and growing one another. And that's what we're going to do here. So I also want to get into a little activity with you guys. Each episode, we're going to have some type of activity. Our activity for today is about our inner child work. Yes, that inner child that's still living and thriving and still controlling some of our emotions up within us. So, what intrigued or fascinated you the most as a child? For me, I love the life that I created with my Bratz dolls. She had her husband, she had her nice house, she had her 3-4 cars, she had her kids. She had the world plus more, an amazing career. And it's crazy because it's like the things that you kind of like put for yourself or save for yourself when you're a child, like you have the choice to be able to create that. And I'm creating mine. So what were you fascinated about when you were a child? What intrigued you so much where you were like, oh, this is my thing? And I want to hear about it. Drop it down in the comments. Put it into my messages. I'm always going to respond. And for sure, definitely, we're in this together, okay? We all got to travel and navigate through this life. And sometimes this life is a little ghetto. But hey, when you have the support and you have the mindset and determination that nothing is going to stop you, you're going to get through it. I would love to end this podcast with the quote of the episode. Deciding to make a difference in the world is a beautiful thing. Just remember, in order for the world to feel the change, you must change from within. Thank you again for joining us at Spiritually Soft. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Like, comment, and subscribe. Love ya.